Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to check out a brand new smartwatch from Mobvoi. Now, we know Mobvoi when it comes down to TicWatches like this one, the TicWatch 3 Pro, but today we're actually talking about a budget-friendly offering from Mobvoi. It's called the Mobvoi TicWatch GTH. It's actually very budget-friendly and a lot of features for what it's offering. This is TK and this is the Mobvoi TicWatch GTH. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you always know whenever we have new videos on the channel. Now, Mobvoi did carry the TicWatch name, but the brand is actually called the GTH. This is not running Wear OS, so what we have here is the TicWatch. This is the standard one, the 3 Pro, and here we have the Mobvoi GTH. Now, the reason why I'm keeping it on my wrist now is because we're going to talk about some of the features that work while you're using it. And when it comes down to some of the main features here, between 7 to 10 days battery life, and I would definitely tell you right now, it actually lasts about 10 days solid every single time. It actually carries me a little bit over 10 days. Up to 5 atmosphere waterproofing, meaning we can actually definitely go swim with this, no problems at all. Support customization watch faces, they have some built-in one in the app. Up to 14 workout modes that are built in. Tick motion, auto motion recognition, the ability of auto starting tracking on its own. Last but not least here is of course respiration rate detection. This is basically on the, there's one of the sensors that they use here that enables them to actually do basically breathing mechanism, so SpO2 levels as well. Sleep tracking, 24 hours, 24/7 basically heart rate monitoring. 24/7 skin temperature tracking, which also was really nice. And a couple of weeks ago when I did get a little bit ill, it was actually alerting me on how high my temperature was getting. Stress level detection, of course. Last but not least, we have a curved design on the glass on the front. In the box, you get the charger, the instruction manuals, and of course, the watch and the watch strap. There's only one watch strap that's available, but you are able to change it. It actually fits, as you can see here, very nicely on your wrist. Now, it is a little bit smaller in the sense of the size. So if you think about it, my standard wrist here, it definitely does cover it, but it's not going to be like as pronounced as what we see here with the TicWatch 3 Pro. It has basically a 1.55 TFT display. You activate it with the tilt to raise, and of course you get different watch faces by just pressing and holding on it. And then from there, we're able to basically customize different experiences that we already have preloaded on the watch. If you don't have them preloaded on the watch, you won't be able to change, but we can definitely do more with the app. So we can definitely use the Mobvoi app. Single button, non-rotating, so single button to activate, single button to go into the mode. This is your app drawer, and it takes you back. That's pretty much the main thing. The charger or the charging connector that we get in here is a magnetic 2-pin connector, which connects to the back of the watch. So you'll notice here the sensors, the heart rate monitoring, and you can see the lights there. And I do have the 24-hour heart rate monitoring turned on. And of course, we just use the 3-pin connector here, and we'll be able to connect it. Actually, take that back. Sorry, it's backwards this. Now, although magnetic, it definitely it's not. The magnets are not strong enough to hold the watch. But if you do put it on, it's easy to basically have it on, and it'll sit, and it kind of gives it a little bit of an incline. It uses a USB Type A, so you can connect this to almost anything, and it can charge the battery on this, which is a 260 milliampere battery, from 0 to 100% in about 2 hours. And the battery does last me literally over 10 days on a single charge. So in the about 2 weeks that I've had this watch, I've only charged it once, and I'm running on my second full charge. Pulling down from the top, you get access to the battery as well as a connection to your smartphone, so it tells you that it's connected. And last but not least, it does say here basically the date. We have the ability of going to do not disturb, battery saver, flashlight settings, screen display on, and of course turn on vibration. And those are pretty much the only options you get in this screen. Swiping up from the bottom, you have access to basic, just your notification. And I do like the fact that with this system, we do see basically the icon from the app that you're getting the notification from. You cannot respond to them, you cannot initiate anything. The only thing you can do is just see them, but at least you actually have the ability of knowing which app by just doing a quick glance. So you can see the messages came from Facebook Messenger, and it's easy. Now, the UI element that we have here is actually a very simple OS. It's called RTOS. So the main benefit here, once you turn it on, you can swipe away, and it basically goes in a carousel style. So if I keep swiping at some point, I get back home. I can swipe to the right, you get your normal circle tracker. This is a very good level for the stress level here, how I'm doing. Those are the activities. You can go in again up to 14 different exercises. And here is kind of like my home screen or my kind of gauge. So you'll notice right there, tick oxygen level, respiration rate, and of course skin temperature. So it tells you what the skin temperature is. So about a couple of weeks ago when I did feel ill, the skin temperature did alert me to my temperature reaching 101 temperature. And it actually did confirm when I ran with the basically thermometer that I put in in my mouth. and it allowed me to know that obviously I was running a fever. So that's one of the things that you want to be aware of. Tick oxygen level, this is the SpO2 level, so you can definitely see it and then track it. And if I swipe again, you can see the heart rate tracking. It's measuring it consistently. Weather, it does pull that directly from your smartphone, and of course, time and date. Now, when we turn it on the back, you can see here that we can definitely change the straps, so you're not necessarily having to use these if you want to buy separate ones. They're standard. You just basically get them in there, and you can customize the experience to your liking. And it actually does feel very nice. It doesn't tangle at all, and I don't have any problems with my hair. So overall, what we're getting here essentially is a decent sized display, again, curved on both edges, so definitely no sharp edges when you're wearing it, and it definitely feels very good. It's very light. You pretty much forget about it once you have it on. Now, to utilize the functions on this, you do need to download a Mobvoi app. So the Mobvoi app is the same app that we use to connect with the standard TicWatch Pro, or you could use it with the TicWatch GTH. So what you're getting here, obviously, this is the TicWatch Pro 3, and we scroll down a little bit. Here it is, the TicWatch GTH. One thing I will say that there's two sections here, the data tracking information part of it, and then there is the app or the actual watch itself. So first thing you'll notice, we can pair it, we can device restore and firmware update. You can definitely check and see if there's any new one. So you can see here, it says you're running the latest version. And I did receive one update since I've received the watch. And that's pretty much it. The battery level, unfortunately, does not tell you exactly the percentage of the battery, and not even on the watch itself. So when we scroll it down and we're looking at it, you could see that there's basically a gauge where I'm basically about maybe a little bit less than 50%, but that's something that we just don't have a way. Once it does get to a low level battery, it will indicate and it will say battery is low, turn on battery saver, or charge the battery. As far as the information that we get here, it's pretty much just an aggregate list. So you'll notice right there, tick motion is standard. It runs the calories, the steps, and of course the distance. We're still early in the morning. 24-hour health monitoring, so we have great sleep, normal skin temperature, and of course blood oxygen level is normal. And again, all of this is from the recent update that it did. There is a smart mode, the ability of turning on automatic features, so automatic heart detection, blood oxygen detection, skin temperature detecting, and of course tilt to wake, that function to be able to basically tilt it up to turn on the watch. That's where you'll be able to turn it on, and of course setting in different alarms. Very simple and very easy to customize. Watch face settings, this is basically the library of watch faces that you're able to download or install. Now keep in mind, you do need to install them on the watch. Once you have them on, you'll be able to go into the watch, press and hold on the actual locks or the watch face itself, and then you can switch between the different options that you have. So you notice right now I have about 4 that are running in there. And of course, you could just download additional ones, or you can even customize your own by bringing in a picture, adding different color accents. All of that stuff could be customized directly within the watch face settings. Now, when it comes down to smart reminders, this is essentially, you can get a notification for SMS, call notification, vibration. I will say that there is no microphone or speaker, so the only thing you're able to do when you do get a notification of a call is to reject the call. So it notifies you that there's a call coming, and if you want to interact with it, you do need to go back to your smartphone, which is a little bit different than what you get here. But again, keep in mind the price point and what they're trying to offer with here. App reminders, these are the different apps you're able to customize directly in here, and then of course secondary reminders. So secondary reminders, start time, end time, and then of course do not disturb. You're able to turn this on basically to customize the experience there. So the overall experience here, if you just don't want to get any notification, you are able to turn on a couple of features, either straight from the notification by turning on sleep mode, and that stops the notification from buzzing, or you can go in there and turn it on. Last but not least, under more features, Find My Watch, of course, screen light duration. Right now I have it set to 5. You can go all the way up to 15 seconds. But to keep the battery at the utmost level, or the basically most efficient level, you could do it there. If you prefer to watch your watch face to be at a 24-hour clock, definitely turn that feature on. Language setting, if you would like to have it in a separate language, right now I have it set to match my phone. So if my phone is in English, it'll stay. And of course, for our European/US followers, if you want to set it up to Celsius, you could definitely do it. Out of the box it is. You do need to go in and change it to Fahrenheit, especially for us here in the US. And that's pretty much it. There's obviously a little help section at the bottom, and it's really, really a very powerful smartwatch that gives us the ability of tracking all of our numbers very, very well. And as you're noticing right there, I created a custom design right there just for my lock screen. So here you can see I have my lock screen on my smartphone, and all I'm doing here is I'm using the same content from that video to create an actual watch face. So this watch face actually now has to synchronize. So that's one thing about the transfer, is that you download the actual watch face, even if it was just the standard one from their selection, or even the creation, and you have to transfer it over. And because this is transferring over Bluetooth 5.1, this takes a little bit longer time, but overall it still works very nice. Now, while it's transferring, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys real quick some information here. So as I mentioned to you guys, Oxygen here, you can definitely see the information. You can go in and it'll give it a second to finish measuring. Definitely easy, very simple. And of course, skin temperature, again, measures it again. Now, as it's measuring, you'll notice that it gives you here the 37.7, and that's basically when I was on 424. That's just the date when I was having a high temperature. That's when it says abnormal history. You can definitely look at all the historical information on the app directly from our smartphone. Last but not least, of course, is respiration rate. It just goes in here and does the same type of measurement. And as you can see, it says basically 12, which is average, and it's measuring it based on the number of breaths that I've actually run. So you notice right there, the watch face synced, and it goes in there. Now it's on my watch. So you can definitely basically just do the tilt awake, and now that's our new watch face, sip counters, and of course you can customize the text. And as far as checking out the data, you definitely have the ability of jumping back into history. You can see the information showing up, and again, you can go in there and customize it, see the blood, oxygen level, sleep patterns as well, skin temperature. All that information is aggregated, and you can go in there and customize it and go through all of it. And again, same thing with all the other information that you're able to look for. Now, the main thing that you want to be aware of, obviously, is it's not running Wear OS. So some of the functions that you typically expect from TicWatch, let's say the 3 Pro, are not going to be necessarily available here. It's running its own proprietary OS, which means notifications will show up. You will know exactly which app that it's coming in, but unfortunately you don't have a way of responding. There's no speaker or microphone, so no call. You're not going to be able to make calls or receive calls from it, but you will know when a call is coming in, and you can reject the call directly from the watch. But if you want to answer the call, obviously you need to pick up the phone, or even just answer it from the watch to initiate the phone. That also function needs to be from there. Now, when it comes down to their app drawer here, we have access to notifications, the tick exercises. As I mentioned to you guys, we have up to 14 different options. The tick health, essentially the tick temp, which those are the different names for the different modes, the tick Tizen, and of course the tick breathe. You have the ability of jumping into tick sleep, which enables us to track our sleep record, timer, stopwatch, weather, of course, we saw that before, it has its own tile, music control, and of course setting. And the way it works, essentially, you could see the music is playing there. I can actually skip the track, and of course, all that information works the same. I can also pause the track if I want to be able to pause it. The only thing is I can't control my music volume, so that's one thing. And it does not turn on automatically. That's something to keep in mind. If you want to use the music control, you need to go into the app and of course find it directly from there. Last but not least, we have settings. We have control over the adjustment of the brightness, restore, which essentially is a reset, power off, and about. And of course, you can just basically power off or restart it. And the about just gives you more information about the model number, which is TXB02. And again, this is the TicWatch GTH. Again, press home one more time, and we're back home. I think it definitely checks off all of the boxes for fitness tracking and of course smartwatch functionalities at the price point that it's coming in. So if you're looking for a smartwatch or a fitness tracker from a company that you trust, specifically the way Mobvoi has been doing it for a few years now, they're very well known for their TicWatch Pros, with the TicWatch 3, the TicWatch 2020. There's a lot of other options that feature the dual display. They definitely have a higher end model there. If you're looking for more budget friendly and definitely very consistent, again, 10 days of battery life is consistent, and I've run it over twice now and I've crossed the 10 days on the second run. The overall tracking information is very consistent. The temperature tracking was also a surprise to me because although I knew it did feature it, I didn't realize it was going to alarm me when I wasn't feeling well not that long ago. So a couple of weeks ago, literally I hit 101.3 and I wasn't really aware that I was running that hot. My watch kept giving me notifications. Now, there's a few things I would probably want to mention to you guys, obviously, that are going to be a little bit of a shortcoming when it comes down to a smartwatch like this. Because we're looking at a budget friendly, there's a few things. Any kind of persistent notification that shows up on your phone. And what I mean by this is when Gmail is syncing messages, when WhatsApp is checking messages, I get a persistent notification on my smartwatch, which typically doesn't show up on the TicWatch 3 Pro. So that's something to keep in mind. So sometimes I feel like notifications are a little bit too instantaneous. The other thing is if I'm ever doing an upload or something to an application that requires an extended amount of time, let's say it's syncing for a longer time, you get a persistent notification here, but it's nothing that you can't just necessarily swipe away. And with that being said, would I recommend this smartwatch for anybody that's looking for a fitness tracker but wants to stay within budget? I think definitely the bang for the buck scenario here is very, very much present here. TicWatch and of course Mobvoi are giving us a very good tailored experience for the price point that they're releasing it at. So if you're looking for something that's on a budget that still gives you a lot of good, I think, fitness information and definitely has had a lot of inspiration from some of the other popular brand smartwatches on the market, I think the TicWatch GTH is a great solution. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next video.